somebody being nice or flirting with you ever made you feel uncomfortable? This person might put you in an adult's position. They might ask for personal information and ask to spend excessive private time with you. They might even use gifts to gain your trust and then request that you keep it all a secret. This special treatment or attention really isn't about gaining a relationship with you. It's more about gaining control and agency over you if they were to ask for something, and to gain your trust. You might think partaking in these things that the person wants you to is wrong, but they're convincing you otherwise by saying things like, "Oh, you're special," and others simply wouldn't understand us, and that's why they wouldn't want us to hang out. That's grooming, and it refers to the malicious practice of normalizing inappropriate behaviors between adults and children in order to develop a close relationship with them where the ultimate goal is abuse. A groomer can be an older friend, an online friend, a family member, or professional. It is a very complicated and vast, malicious process, but it happens every single day and sometimes right in front of us. Recently, we've seen a lot of people come forth with grooming accusations, for example, like the Colleen situation, and not to even mention the inappropriateness of the video with Sia and Maddie. The Dan Schneider situation, this man right here, the obsession with feet is something that I have seen in the Wolf Project with many pedophiles, not to even mention his horrific abuse of Amanda Bynes. This man is still working. He has been exposed, but like I said, it is right in front of our faces. So what are the signs of grooming? And again, grooming refers to the manipulative process to normalize inappropriate behaviors between minors and adults in order to gain trust or control over the victim and those around them in order to get away with abusing them. This can happen to anyone, regardless of gender or background. Number 1 is excessive secrecy. Groomers rely on secrecy to maintain control of their victims by avoiding the concerns of other people. If others know about the relationship, the groomer risks exposing their true intentions. They might pressure the victim into keeping their interactions with them private. They might say things like, "Our relationship is special," and others wouldn't understand. Number 2, unexplained gifts or favors. This is a tactic commonly used to earn the trust and admiration of minors. Hidden expectations can be attached to these gifts in order to make it harder for the victim to say no when the groomer asks for favors. Number 3, special treatment or attention. Gaining the trust and dependence of their victim so they can control and exploit their targets is the groomer's goal. Making their targets feel special gains their trust. That way it's easier to exploit them. Number 4, insistence on spending time alone. Predators often seek opportunities to isolate their victims. Beware of adults that insist on spending excessive one-on-one time with a minor away from trusted adults, friends, or family. Number 5, allowing forbidden things. An older friend that allows a minor to engage in activities that their guardians have forbidden might seem very cool to them, but this is a major undermining of the guardian's authority. This can also lead to them coercing you into doing more dangerous things, like smoking, drinking, drug use, or having sex. Number 6, excessive physical touch. How someone respects your personal boundaries and comfortability with physical touch says a lot about their intentions. Groomers will always try to escalate these behaviors to sexualize the relationship between them and their target. Number 7, minimizing the concerns of others. Groomers never want to be exposed. When someone comes forth with concerns about the relationship between the groomer and minor, they will always try to dismiss their concern. They might say they don't know what they're talking about. They're just judgmental. You're more mature than they are. So what do you need to know? Firstly, accusing someone of grooming has serious consequences. It is important to approach these situations with consideration. If someone displays more than 4 signs consistently, they are more than likely to be a groomer. If something feels off or uncomfortable, don't ignore it. This could be your intuition trying to warn you. Establish boundaries in your relationships, even with adults. And don't be afraid to speak out against this malicious behavior. And lastly, and most importantly, knowing these signs of grooming and predatory behaviors is the best way to protect yourself and loved ones against this risk. Awareness is your first line of defense. If you or someone you know is being groomed, it can feel and look like being put in an adult's position. An older friend that allows a minor to engage in activities one finds grown up, it might seem very cool to them. However, minors cannot consent to such activities. The predator might convince the minor they are mature for their age or that they're almost an adult anyway. And also feel like being coerced and pressured into things that you believe are wrong and really do not want to do. This can also lead to them coercing you into doing more dangerous things like I mentioned before, like smoking, drinking, drug use, or having sex. Excessive secrecy. Predators really do thrive in secrecy, and they commonly convince their targets to keep their relationship or interactions with them a secret from those around them. And spending time alone. Beware of adults that insist on spending excessive one-on-one time with a minor. Isolating the victim is a tactic often used by many predators. They will also minimize the concerns of others that decide to speak out against the relationship. Groomers never want to be exposed. They often find any way they can to dismiss the concerns of the target or anyone who comes forth around the target, like a family member, a friend, or just a trusted individual. Awareness is your first line of defense. If you or your loved one need to talk about their situation in regards to a domestic situation, above is the domestic violence hotline. If someone online is making you or a loved one feel uncomfortable, you need to halt contact with the individual and make sure that you screenshot all the messages. If the perpetrator is threatening you, if you do halt contact, you are likely experiencing sextortion. You need to visit foundationraw.com/resources and get help immediately. This is a crime. If my child is contacted by an online predator, screenshot absolutely everything, the entire conversation and the account that contacted your child. Get their name, email, username, your child's user and age, your information, and your relation to the situation. Take this information to your local police or sheriff's department, the report.cybertipline.org, or NetMeg, the hotline which handles these situations regarding crimes against children. And lastly, to the Wolf Project Inc. /contact. That way the perpetrator can be kept an eye on by people who bait pedophiles and collect data. If you witness a trafficking situation, recall the location, specifically description of the victim and the perpetrator and the situation at hand. Call 888-373-7888. There's also a text option to 233-733. And what to do if you find child sexual abuse material online. Do not save or report or repost these materials. Collect the link of the abusive materials and gather as much data on the perpetrator or the person that posted the materials as possible. Go to report.cybertipline.org and fill out the form in order to submit your report. Thank you for watching. Please save and repost this video.